new collections, new events, but most importantly, we have heroic race rewards to collect. And so if you want to know where your heroic race rewards are, if you go to in the new updated UI news section and you'll scroll down and you'll see the option of heroic race. I know that there's lots and lots of stuff in this panel, so if you get lost, I don't blame you. But you'll see it on the left hand side here, heroic race, and if you click on there, it'll show you heroic race. The heroic race is finished. Check your results, and then if we click show results, we got first, of course. So another successful Dragon City heroic race here, and of course because we've come first, that means that we get our hands on the new heroic and all of the event dragons that we need for the heroic combat quests. And I will go through all of the requirements for the heroic combat quests in a moment, but this is the beautiful girl High NACREA. And so then we also get medium, we get Voodoo Witcher, and we get Blue Fire as well. So we did finish on lap 18, we came first. I didn't want to push for the Titan Egg chest, but you know, the 800 plus orbs that we already have for High NACREA are more than fine by me. And so now that we have this dragon hatched, it says we can find them in our storage, which we will do in a moment, but we have these special heroic combat quests here. And the sooner that you start doing these, the better off you're going to be, because there's only so much leeway that you have. You'll see that these quests last for 3 days, and between each battle there is going to be 6 hours between each of them, and grand total there are 11 stages. But to be able to take part in these heroic combat quests, you need to have your hands on High NACREA, medium, and the Voodoo Witcher dragons. And so because we just got these 2 dragons, we want to go and get them hatched right now. So of course we are going to go and hatch them using gems. And I do have all of the costs for this written down inside my Discord server. This has been posted many times. For the heroic empowerment quests, we have quest 1 and quest 2, and there are different costs for each, but just for the hatching section, it's going to cost 37 gems total if you have to hatch all 3 of the dragons that you get from the heroic race. And so I guess we will hatch the 2 dragons that we need for this for now. That is the wrong section, but like if we go and find our NACREA dragon, there she is. We're going to use her. Not abuse her, but we are going to speed her up using 14 gems. We are going to place her, and we are immediately going to take her to level 40, because taking her to level 40 is going to be one requirement for a lot of the quests, but we're going to have to take her way beyond level 40. And that's the reason why I've stacked up so much food recently, because I've been saving them for the High NACREA quests. But we will feed her up as much as we possibly can, and I just realized I put her into the baby habitat, so that's not really the habitat I wanted her in, because we're only going to see her in baby form if we do this. Where are you? There we go, we'll pop her there. Now she's in her wonderful adult form, and because we did get at least 2 lap 17, we can actually give her a cute little skin. I don't actually know which one I prefer. I quite like the purple one, but I guess we'll put on the dueling cape for now. It doesn't make any difference, but there you go. Free dueling cape for us. And so then we've got the other dragon, which I've already forgotten its name, medium, of course. So then we'll go and I always click the get egg section. Why do I do that every single time? Then we've got the medium dragon, so we're going to use medium. And again, we're going to skip medium's gem cost as well, which is another 12 gems. And then we're going to place it. We're going to level that boy up as well. So once you've got all of these dragons leveled up, depending on whichever quest you want to do, either Heroic Combat Quest 1 or Heroic Combat Quest 2, then that's when you can start doing the battles. But make sure that you decide which quest you want to do beforehand, because Heroic Combat Quest 1 is super cheap. Heroic Combat Quest 2, however, is a lot more expensive in terms of the food cost in particular. So let's go and get these quests done very quickly now that we're here. And actually, we're going to have to feed up Voodoo Witcher to level 30 to even be able to do the first quest of Heroic Combat 2. So let's go and get our Voodoo Witcher, and we're also going to feed you up, you silly bad boy. I actually love the design of Voodoo Witcher for, like, just a dragon epic with 3 elements. I actually really like his design. But anyway, let's cancel out of there and actually do these quests. So we will start with Heroic Combat 1, which again, not a high requirement in terms of levels, but you do want to be finishing off every single stage, and the time when you'll get the heroic orbs is when you finish every single stage. So you're not going to get any heroic orbs before that. But these quests are also really, really good for just getting rank ups on your high NACREA dragon, and I would suggest that if you want to get the bonus orbs to also help you out with the other quests. There we go, plus 24, and if you finish off every single Heroic Combat 1, then on stage 11 you will get 120 orbs for high NACREA. If you finish off every single quest for Heroic Combat 2, then you'll get another 200 orbs for high NACREA. So all the other stages or whatever, you can get orbs from random dragons. Who cares about the legend and who cares about the epic? They're not important. The one that is important are the Heroic orbs, so that's the one that we actually care about. But in terms of the overall costs, again, I will get out my handy guide and I will post it in the comments section as well, just so that you can follow it easier on there as well, or you can open the Discord if you want to. But like I said, make sure you've got enough food before you start doing these and spending on Heroic Combat 2 in particular. So there we've got bronze, and then in 6 hours time we'll log in again and do stage 2. So again, it's going to be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, all the way up to stage 11. So you've got a few hours of leeway with this event, but I'd highly recommend trying to stay completely on time, because it is so easy to like forget and like sleep rather than stay up for like an extra 20 minutes, and then suddenly you've missed out on like finishing the quest because, you know, you slept instead of doing the extra stage. So make sure you got the food, make sure you got the gems to be able to empower high NACREA for Heroic Combat 2 as well, because you will have to empower high NACREA to finish off Heroic Combat 2. And if I open up our little guide section here, we went through the top part, but for Quest 1, all 3 dragons will need to be level 30 by the last stage of Quest 1, so the total food cost is 1.7 million, and so 1.7 million food, that is super easy to get a hold of, even if you're a new player. So if you're a new player, you get all the dragons to level 30, that's just some free Heroic orbs. If you are going for Heroic Combat Quest 2, to complete the last stage of Quest 2, the Legend and Epic must be level 40, the Heroic must be level 45. So to speed up the empowerment of high NACREA, because you're not going to have time to be able to empower high NACREA without gemming it, because there's only 3 days of the event and you have to log in for the resets, that's 56 gems for the empowerment. And then the total food cost is 28 million. And then to be able to complete both quests, the hatching and the speeding up of empowerment, that is 93 gems. So 93 gems roughly, if that is just if you're going for Heroic Combat Quest 2 and you have to hatch all the dragons. Of course, because I didn't have to hatch the epic, we didn't have to spend quite as much, but that is the full guide for these Heroic Combat quests. But they're not the only quests that we have right now, because as we've been having recently, we also have the Heroic quests for high NACREA as well, which are lasting for another 10 days. And these are the real bad boy quests, because if you manage to get high NACREA to E5, you can get up to 100 Heroic Joker orbs, plus we've got 100 gems, 200 orbs, 80 gems, 140 orbs, 60 gems. These Heroic quests are so good, which is another reason why picking up all of the bonus orbs for high NACREA from the other events recently is going to be so good, because you may end up having to skip the empowerment on high NACREA, which you'll be skipping empowerment 1 anyway if you're doing the Heroic Combat quest, but you will be getting gems back from these quests when you do that. So even though there's only 10 gems, you might be able to wait rather than skipping at least 1 or 2 of them, but you know, it's worth it, because again, you're going to get the 100 gems plus 80 gems plus 60, although it depends on what level you can take high NACREA to. If you do want to know where you can see what level you'll need to take high NACREA to get a certain reward, you can actually see this on Ditlep. Like if I scroll down and we open up the Heroic quests for her, then it will show you what level you'll need to have her at to get a certain reward. So for instance, stage 6, you can get that with a level 40, and then stage 7 is where you'd need an empowered high NACREA, and so you'd be taking her to 45 anyway. So if you're going for Heroic Combat 2, stage 11 is a little bit higher than that. So you can get up to stage 10, which gives you plus 50 orbs for her just by doing Heroic Combat 2 just straight up. And then, of course, you're going to get the bonus orbs for her after that from Heroic Combat as well. So then, of course, you'll be able to go further and further. But then, for instance, we've got 80 gems at stage 19, which should be level 56. Stage 20, 200 orbs, level 56. Stage 21, 100 orbs, 56. So level 56, you're getting a lot of spicy rewards from that. And then, like I said, stage 22 is the big boy one, level 61. If you don't manage to get a level 61 high NACREA, because that is going to be insanely difficult still, even though we got all the bonus orbs from elsewhere, it's only 100 Joker orbs, so it's not the end of the world. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of all the gem drops because, again, you can use those to empower the high NACREA dragon. But these battles also, as you can see, they've got quite short cooldowns on them, so you'll be able to log in quite frequently. So I'm going to be focusing on these quests very hard, and that is mostly what you'll need to know about this new heroic, getting as many orbs as possible and hopefully getting as empowered of a dragon as you possibly can. So the other things that we've got going on, like I mentioned before, is the new collection stuff. We do also have a special deal for duo dragon orbs today. Well, duo dragon eggs, because you know it's the egg extravaganza stuff ongoing at the moment. But a lot of those are like paid deals anyway. But we have this new Fall from Grace collection event. And so in this it says, meet a fallen forest angel whose leaves have started the turn. And can you help her rekindle those forest friendships? And it shows you all of the events that we've got coming up. So we've got Tower event today, we have Puzzle event on the 10th, we've got Maze event on the 9th, and then we have Runner on the 15th. And of course, as usual, you'll get things from ads, you'll get things from events, you can get insignias from events, and we have this new collection that has begun. So in this new collection, we've got perk chests. We have this one, which drops legendary jokers, which isn't too bad. We've got this one, which drops dragon orbs. It's quite similar to some of the previous ones that we've had. We've got this one that can drop up to 2 lots of perks. We've got this one that's got up to 100 jokers. And then we have this one, which is probably the pay-to-win one, because you're going to need 50 of these angel feathers. But essentially, you're going to be doing the events and accessing the autumn piles to get these rewards. Personally, I'm not too bothered about this collection. There's nothing particularly spicy. Like, I know the bonus Joker orbs aren't too bad, but it's like, compared to the previous collection that we just had, it's whatever. But we do have this tower event, and of course we do have the currency available in ads for the tower event as well, so definitely get watching that. But in terms of the tower event itself, we have Duo Delight as the main reward dragon. And so as always with these tower events, before you start moving in the tower events, you should decide what the reward is that you're actually going for in this event. And of course, as usual with these events, you can just log in every 8 hours, feed up your dragons for all the currency, and that's it. You've collected all the currency that you can for that reset. You can also get the currency from, you know, collecting gold on your islands, but it's easiest to just, you know, get a dragon, feed it up. That's the easiest way to get all of your event currency. But like I mentioned, with these events, I know that we have insignias on certain parts of this tower, but we also have these pile of leaves, which again drop those event collection items. But you're going to have to choose. Do you want to go for the event collection items, or do you want to get the new dragon? Because ignore all these dragons on the right hand side. They're not very good and you can get them from elsewhere. But Duo Delight here is the new dragon. He's looking very wacky. Double happy, which is, I mean, he looks very happy, very scarily happy. But this dragon, you'll only really be able to hit him unless you get very lucky with your drops, if you just purely focus on getting to the top of the tower. And so what I mean by that is, rather than going for these event items and even possibly the insignias, instead you head straight towards these blue catapults on every single section. So every single section of these, just head for the blue catapults and get to the top of the tower. So if you're not sure what you want to go for now, you can save your currency and spend it a little bit later on, but you've got 3 days to be able to decide. But again, you're not going to be able to hit the top of the tower and go for the event items, so please bear that in mind. If you want to get the dragon, you can. You don't have to get him. It's not like he's a good dragon to use in battle, but if you like collecting like I do, that's what I'm gonna go for. But anyway, that is pretty much everything that I wanted to mention for now. We do still have Empower Happy Hour ongoing, and you'll see that I've empowered Duo Destruct because there are quests for him as well. And then once his empowerment has finished, I will be going ahead and empowering High NACREA after these 2 days are up for him. So yeah, we've got a lot of empowering going on at the moment, a lot of quests. but make sure you are being very diligent with your logins for these quests and getting as much as you can out of these free heroic empowerment quests. But, you know, I guess that is mostly everything. Like I said, we do have these special offers for VIP dragons, but it is a paid deal. Do I think it's worth it? No. I just think all these paid deals are kind of icky sticky. Sometimes we get dragons on sale as well, but nothing really too crazy in there at the moment. So, don't really care. I'm going to spend my gems elsewhere. And make sure you're taking part in this Wizard's Hollow if you want to potentially get some more of these occult badges. But anyway, for now, good luck, and I hope that you got everything that you wanted out of the recent events, and I guess good luck with your tower event drops, because there's nothing you can do to change these drops, like when you're going through the tower. Sometimes you're going to get lucky with it, sometimes you're not, but I guess let's start on this new collection.